So I've hosted a lot of summits over the years, but somehow 2025 was the first year I hosted one in Q1 for this business. And in case you are thinking of hosting a summit in the early part of the new year, I wanted to share my experience around it for you. So we hosted Sell with a Summit B2C edition in February this year, and there were actually two things I really loved about it. First, we just went into the year feeling confident, like I knew we had something big coming to start us off. And like the smart part of my brain knows that just because the year changes from one to the next that I'm not actually starting over, but I kind of feel that way anyway. So knowing that from the very beginning we had something that would bring in multiple 5 figures, bring in a flood of new leads and set us up for the year with a ton of momentum was really nice. And then I also love what it meant for us afterward. So it meant that every challenge we ran, every training I did, like everything worked better because of those additional targeted leads and just the overall momentum we added to our business through that summit. It also meant that when I could see partway through the year that I was going to need another push to hit our revenue goal, that I had more than enough time to add in a second summit to do even more big things for us. And looking back, if we would have done those 2 summits, it would have been a pretty sad year for us in business, just with the way the online landscape changed and how long it took us to figure it out and adjust. So if you want that for your business next year to both like start off strong and have room for more big things later on if you need it, I would really encourage you to host a summit in the first part of the year, January through March. It's a great time for a lot of niches actually, because people tend to be more motivated and take action and make change in the earlier part of the year. And then for those of us in parts of the world that are cold during this time, people are cooped up inside and are more likely to be paying attention to something going on online. And it's just like a good time for us to be in push mode because we're not wanting to be traveling or outside enjoying the beautiful weather. Like I don't mind being here, in go mode during January, February, March, any of those months. So in case you're nodding along and think this could be a good move for you, I want you to consider the timeline for a summit hosted in the early part of the year. So I want you to give yourself at least 90 days. So at least 3 months from the day you're watching this video or listening to this on the podcast. Some of you might also want to work in a little extra time for the holiday season so that you can take time off. So your promotion isn't happening during that time. So none of your speaker due dates fall during that time. So just make sure you have enough wiggle room in there. But other than that, like it is such a great time for a summit. You are hearing it first, but I've actually got an idea simmering for a Q1 summit of our own because of how well it set us up for a successful 2025 over this year. And I know that no one wants to be thinking about 2026 yet, but since summits do take longer to plan, I decided to come in and say it first. Like it's time to start thinking about it and really start planning it, especially if you're hosting a summit in January, like it's time to start today. Remember that if you are hosting a summit and want to ensure it's set up for the most possible leads, revenue, and impact, we actually have the entire step-by-step process, every script, every template, every piece of swipe copy you need, all the coaching in our Launch with a Summit Accelerator program. So I'm going to put a link to apply in the video description in case you are interested, but let me know in the comments if you are thinking about a Q1 summit.